I am back by no popular demand with F123, my team career mode, for my home race, the British Grand Prix. It is not my favourite circuit on this game, let alone in real life either, but it is technically my home circuit because I am British. So, no special liveries. My name's not Araba and I don't have PC mods. So we're going to make do with what we got. We're just going to go with a bog standard, normal race setup, normal quality, and let's get into it. It's my first race in a while, so let's have a little bit of fun and try to do our best. For a little bit of context, I have no clue what this AI is on. I have a feeling it might still be on 100 from the Austria Grand Prix, but it could also be on 95 like it was before. However, I'd have to check that at a different time when I next play. But yeah, first lap was pretty good. We set a purple lap time and we go for 2 purple sectors. We were 3 tenths up before Mackett's. We lost around a tenth through the middle sector, and heading into the final sector now, we are going to go up to 3 tenths, but then lose a bit of it by not clipping that apex. And we actually end up gaining a little bit of time. And then on our third run in qualifying, because it's only a short quality but a 50% race, we're looking for Hulkenberg to get out of the way here after doing his lap, and he just like, I don't know, he just doesn't help us out at all. So in the end, we end up getting P3 with Lando Norris in the McLaren, the British driver getting pole. Don't ask where poor Chair is, he may as well not exist, he's useless. But we do have Lando flying the flag for the Brits in pole position. So should be interesting. Let's go.
Welcome everyone as you join us at a former Second World War aircraft base, now converted into one of the great motor racing tracks. Britain is one of only 2 countries to have held a Grand Prix in every year of the Formula One World Championship, and long may that continue. This is Silverstone, and this is the British Grand Prix. With good opportunities to overtake at the end of the Wellington and Hangar Straights, there's a lot of potential for close action around the 3.6 miles of Silverstone circuit. With 18 corners and average lap speeds of around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the longest and quickest circuits on the calendar. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Iceman, Sainz, Hamilton, Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Bottas, Perez, Oscar Piastri, Albon, Joe, Stroll, Russell, Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Sargent, De Vries, Théo Pourchaire, Ocon, Gasly, and Yuki, and they've been involved.
Right, mate, I know it's your home Grand Prix, but I want you to treat it like any other race. Let's not make any unnecessary risks, please.
Right, boys, so a few people are starting on softs, mostly people are starting on mediums. I've just gone with a base strategy, taken out a little bit of fuel. I don't know if I make any other tweaks. Maybe I tweak a bit of the tyre pressures. And yeah, let's just get straight into the Grand Prix, boys. I am not very hyped at the minute because I am extremely tired. However, I've been putting off editing this video for days and it needs doing. I had a sudden urge to edit it and it needs editing. We get a purple squad on the grid lineup. Let's get this on the road. Let's get this show on the road, boys. I need this race to go well for the championship. We're currently battling Aston Martin with one hand, McLaren with one hand, Alpine with one hand. We're even getting close to the Merc drivers. So yeah, as we wait for everyone else to line up on the grid, all the cars around us start on medium compound tyres. I think George Russell is starting on the softs. He is one of the notably higher up drivers on the grid. Starting on softs. He might be the highest soft runner on the grid right now. But if we have 5 red lights for the British Grand Prix, mine and Lando's home race, and it lights out, and away we go, and we get a really nice jump start on Charles Leclerc and goes setting around him. But Lando Norris, surprisingly, also gets a really good player-level start, which is something you don't see from the AI that often. Lando Norris recently got a stat buff, and also McLaren got a buff, and I applied that to the save, so maybe that's helped him out a little bit to get this pole position and to have this incredible weekend for his home race so far. Or maybe it's just genuine McLaren development. But Lando Norris is already 7 times ahead, as we now have Charles Leclerc in our slipstream. Having a look down the inside, we leave him the space. We are going to leave Leclerc the space, but we know we are going to have the extra grip on the outside, and we therefore go with it, and we keep P2. And yeah, when am I going to cut this clip off? Because oh my word, Leclerc is right up my chuff. Jeez, I completely forgot about that. He's just right there. However, we move now on to lap number 2. Yeah, lap number 2. As Leclerc has dropped back a couple places, and we now have Hamilton and Verstappen right behind us. Lando Norris has already ran off by 2 seconds because I'm just constantly getting I'm not, for lack of better words, fisted. I'm constantly getting attacked and mauled and bullied. But we squeeze out Hamilton with the extra straight line speed we have. Verstappen with his broken Red Bull goes around the outside. Lewis tries the same. We definitely got pushed off the track there. Definitely not track limits. We go back down the inside of Lewis Hamilton. Shut up, by the way, people who go, oh, track limits, mate. It's a game. I play the game how I want to play the game. And if you got a problem with it, shut the hell up. I'm literally racing AI on like a relatively difficult AI level. Oh yeah, I'll whack it on 80 and worry about track limits. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's fun, isn't it? Bloody boring people out here. But yeah, we mainly just sat with Leclerc for a while, and we're still sat with Leclerc on lap 6. We do have Hamilton quite close, but he's not close enough to make a move into this corner. And we're just going to try to stick with the DRS of Leclerc, and Hamilton's hit us. Let's give that a little look. Hamilton, he backs out the move and then just goes for it anyway. There's no way that move is ever going to work, and all it's done is it's cost me DRS from Charles Leclerc. I don't know if that, I don't know what would have happened had I not been taken out by Lewis there, but I'm not letting Lewis get ahead of me after that. That from Lewis Hamilton is an absolute disgrace. I don't know what's worse, that on me or what he did to Oscar Piastri. It'd be very close. But Hamilton's always killing people, bless him. And oh my word, Hamilton's going down the inside of Cops. Oh my gosh. Oh. When you've got Lewis on your inside of Cops, boys, just be prepared to literally face a 51G impact into that tyre barrier. Max Verstappen will tell you everything you need to know. But here comes Lewis Hamilton again. This man will not leave me alone. Please, Hamilton, go wide or something. I'd rather take the overpowered Red Bull of Perez than you and your dangerous driving, mate. Please get away from me at all costs. Realistically, we all respect Lewis. We all love Lewis. Great driver, one of the GOATs. But, he is so questionable at times, especially when battling others. And Piastri's up into P5 with Perez. Whoa! That is different. Both McLaren drivers, since this new patch, are crazy good. And realistic as well. And Porsche's out. Okay. Right, brilliant. That's a good sign for reliability. We've just cut to a clip. We're just diving down the inside of Sergio Perez in the Red Bull as we now come into box. Okay, makes sense. So yeah, we lost the DRS of Leclerc. Verstappen overtook us early. We can't really do much with him. He's way too fast. Same with Lando Norris. So we're really fighting, because Leclerc's gone, I reckon we're fighting for P4 right now. But yeah, in we come for a pit stop. We're going to go straight onto the hardcore tyres. And the only people actually boxing right now are the soft runners. So Alonso and Russell. And then some other irrelevant drivers that aren't anywhere near me in a championship or an on-track battle. However, these guys on fresh mediums are going to come out right behind me. Now that's not good because they're on fresher compound. My tyres are a lot colder and I struggle with tyre warm-up more than them. And I was just going for a really good undercut on everyone. But these guys are going to cause me issues. Proper issues. We are only a second ahead of Russell when we come out the pits. And we're already sliding about on ice-cold tyres. We managed to get up to a second, but not enough to stop them getting DRS even on this lap. And it doesn't really matter anyway because they get straight back in it again. It was just extremely frustrating. But moving on to lap 13, they are still both behind us. However, we are going to go for a fastest lap attempt. We've saved up 75% of our ERS. We've got drivers right behind us, but that should be enough. A little added pressure to force me into a fastest lap. Here we go. I'm pretty sure this lap wasn't too unclean. Maybe a couple little track limits things here and there. But to be honest with you, honestly, I definitely could have gone a lot faster than this. I wasn't optimally using ERS. I was taking really poor lines in places. I was getting some dodgy traction, to say the least. But somehow, this was a fastest lap attempt. It was actually pretty good. We already get a purple sector. I mean, the guys behind us probably doing similar sectors because they are sat right behind me. But it's fine, we ignore it. And yeah, with those two behind us still, it did add a little bit of pressure on this fastest lap. Because not only were we doing this and just dragging them along, but like, I was trying to drop them, and we were just dragging them along. There, I was still on the curb, so I'm going to count that as not track limits in my eyes, so shush. Same here. Yep, see, technically, oh my word, I had a massive slide there. As we head now through into the start of the final sector, onto this big back straight. It is a green middle sector, not my best Mackets and Beckett's, but not an awful one either. As we now head into Stowe? No idea. But yeah, we now head into final sector. And we head into Parabolica. No, I'm joking. Parabolica is something completely different. It is a corner on the last corner of Monza. Not the same thing at all. But we do get our fastest lap. And we're just on our merry ways. We're now back up into P6. And eventually, after everyone pits, we're back into P4. Leclerc and Norris are long gone, and so is Verstappen. Verstappen and Norris are having a race-long battle, but we have Alonso behind us, we have Russell behind us, we have Sainz behind us, we have Hamilton. You know what, name a driver that's actually half decent there behind me right now. And we are on the iceberg train. We let Russell past, and then we were just getting absolutely mauled still by everyone. We couldn't keep in the DRS for long. And Alonso ends up overtaking us. I'm surprised I didn't clip the Russell overtake on me. It was probably really boring, or something weird happened and I just felt guilty clipping it because I probably like attacked him or something after the overtake and then felt bad. So yeah, it's probably the most likely thing to happen. But we are 7 tenths behind Alonso on the straight, and DRS, slipstream and ERS, and we've just made up over 7 tenths in one straight. Our straight line speed with slipstream and DRS and ERS is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, if we're not in the DRS, I mean, we're going to struggle. Or slipstream, sorry. But when we are, when we are behind a car on the straight, we are overtaking them. No matter, as long as we're in DRS range, we always have a chance of going up the inside. As we are now defending from Fernando Alonso, who tried to make an overtake. We're going to switch from the right to the left. We're going to go down the inside. Fernando Alonso, who leaves us the space respectfully, so we're going to leave him space on the inside. It ends up being a really nice, clean racing move, and we don't mind that. That is pretty nice. And then Alonso's ahead of us again, definitely overtook us in that first sector, and we're going to try get a really good Mackets and Beckett's. Try get a good exit. I mean, we don't even get a really good Mackets and Beckett's. I mean, that was okay there. We are 6 tenths behind Fernando. We got technically not a great exit, but we're just going to use ERS, TRS and slipstream. Absolutely blitz past him and even get ahead of him pretty much before the brake zone. So, I mean, it's an incredible straight line speed car. So, I am just hoping it can stay like this all season. And here we go. It's now Sainz ahead of us, and we do the exact same thing. Absolutely putting the Ferrari in the mud, in a straight line. Getting ourselves back to P4, but Sainz is still on the inside. He comes across us. We're going to leave some Sainz, a lot of space on the inside, showing the same respect we did to Fernando, and he shows the same. And we end up having the inside line for the final corner, and on to lap 24 of 26, sorry, we get back up into P5. Now Russell is long gone on the alternate strategy, and Sainz there, he drifted wide. Is he having problems maybe? And we just show him the same. We push him wide as well, as Perez now trying to nick back up on the inside. We have a little slide after making contact with Perez, but all the order stays the same, and that's pretty much fair. And now coming on to lap 25 of 26, we have Sergio Perez right up our chuff once again, and we are going to have to try defend now for 2 more laps in order to keep the P5. I'd be very happy with a P5, considering, you know, the pace isn't all amazing. We're on a higher AI difficulty than I probably should have been, but don't mind it. I actually felt okay, having not really done much practice. I mean, I did a full 100% Monza race before this, but that's a completely different track. Well, kind of. It's a completely different circuit, but the kind of track, it's not too indifferent. As we now... Alright, Checo, mate. I mean, I guess he just wants to get thrown out of Red Bull. Whilst Max Verstappen is literally fighting for a lead that was 4 seconds large, and he already caught up and has been battling with Lando all race. Perez is now floundering with me in P7, so... well in, mate. And now we have Sainz right behind us. We are ahead going into Mackets and Beckett's. It's something we don't enjoy, because we were just constantly re-overtaking every single lap. And now it's our turn to become the hunted. And here comes Carlos Sainz. He's going to go round the outside. However, we still have straight line speed. We're going to send a little bit up the inside. Sainz leaves us some space, but he's able to get back past us again, so we're not going to go for the overtake here. And Sainz has... Oh my, what is going on? Sainz has gone deep. He's cost himself some time. And on to the last lap. We now have a bit of an advantage over Carlos Sainz. But in the first sector, we lose it immediately on worn, hot, like lack of traction tyres. And we're now holding on the inside of Cops with Sergio Perez. And now we have Sainz behind us. But we are still right behind Sergio Perez. And with our superior straight line speed, we can turn this 4/10 gap into nothing in a second. But Perez is going to be draining his battery. We get a really poor exit off Mackett and Beckett. It's now a 6/10 gap. Lando Norris wins his first ever race in F1 and beats Max Verstappen to the punch as we go down the inside of Sergio Perez. He leaves us the space on the inside. We push him off track a little bit. We need this P5. We're going to hold it around the outside into the final two corners, into the final chicane of the British Grand Prix, the home race. We give the fans some incredible racing today and something to celebrate. It may not have been an improvement, but it is definitely a very, very enjoyable race. And Lando Norris wins it. Incredible stuff for the British fans in Silverstone.
It was a tough race at times, but they've held on to take a great victory for McLaren today. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the McLaren team, and I'm very happy to see them there on that top step of the podium.
So yeah, I hope any Lando fans enjoyed me just letting the celebrations play out as Lando Norris wins his first ever race in Formula 1, which means that now with McLaren's newfound pace, we have a new challenger in the Constructors and Drivers' Championship, and it will be Lando Norris and McLaren. Piastri got a point in the end, and these are how the standings are looking. We are now ahead of Carlos Sainz in the standings and behind Lewis Hamilton by 7 points, and McLaren are catching up. It's going to be us versus McLaren versus Aston Martin, and we now cut to the end because we've now got a new teammate to sign. First of all, we're going to try get Liam Lawson here, because in real life, he has signed for a team, so like we're going to go for him. However, we're going to offer a really high risk to maybe try save some money, because we are strapped for cash at the minute. We're not going to sign Porsche, who's doing nothing, for 2 million, when we can sign Lawson, we could have signed Lawson, who is actually driving in real life F1 at the minute, for a fraction of the price. So we're going to try the same with Felipe Drugovich, because it doesn't actually matter who's in the seat. It just matters we have someone half decent in the seat who can bring in an R&D points. Felipe Drugovich, we're going to go high risk again. Felipe Drugovich, will he sign for the team? Yes, he will. And historically, Felipe Drugovich, when you bring him in quite early, he ends up at an F1 team later down the line and is normally a very competitive driver, as we now also just renew a random sponsor that I just didn't really care about. So that is it for the British Grand Prix, guys, and that is it for our new teammate signing. We have signed Felipe Drugovich. It would have been nice to get Lawson in because he is driving in real life, and it would have been like, a bit of parity to real life that isn't there at all. I am miles behind real life, however, I do think I'll catch up. I mean, F1, I don't know where it's going because, EAFC comes out in like 10 days, like 10, 15 days, and I was going to have a break from normal FIFA, but I've got some more FIFA stuff to do. Then I've got some retro FIFA stuff to do, and then it'll be fully focused on F1. So that is all for this episode. A little bit of an update there on what we're doing. I'll make it more clear for myself in my own head, because, I've always got to keep track of these things. You guys know me. I love keeping track of what I'm going to do and my plans. And I have a few videos lined up, probably not too many, but we are getting towards the end of FIFA 23 now. There will be a couple more videos up about that, and then we should be done. So thank you for watching this episode. Stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next one.